الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Council Naba Sidi Shafiga. And I also represent the other religious denomination, and I pray that we get to this symposium so that we can extract the fruits from it. I pray that God gives us guidance, love, and understanding of whatever we are going to get from the symposium. I pray in the Lord's name. Amen. Now we are going to also do the anthem, since it's a national symposium where you cannot forget to do the anthem. Our Bushra, please come and lead us in the national anthem. National anthem, then we start.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Kindly stand up for the national anthems. Okay. O Uganda, may God uphold thee. Right. We lay our future in thy hand. United, free for liberty, together we'll always stand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. You can take your seats. Someone was asking that even those people that are watching us on TV should stand up when we're singing the national anthem. If you love your country, you know we are patriotic. So if you love your country, you can stand up. I have a question that I will ask one of the presenters. They say that why is it that when we are praying we sit, but when we are singing the national anthem we stand? And I was like, I think as policies do guide us on what we're supposed to do. So I will ask so that I can get a clear answer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the Salam Youth Symposium. My name is Baligia Afan Wachinyankari, and the theme for today is nurturing leadership and innovation in our youth. We are going to start with our very own, the Prime Minister, Sabila Sarah. She's also from Imara. She has been on different platforms. She has empowered especially a girl child and other people in different areas. She has been very key in promoting education, and since she's a council from Females Campus Kabojja, she has done a lot to see that girls are in a safe place. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Council Sabila Sarah. Hand clap is just a bit little. Please try to do more. Thank you so much, Council. You can. Do you have your phone? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm really excited to be on Salam TV today. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sabila Sarah, and like I was introduced earlier, I'm the Prime Minister for the Students' Parliament, Islamic University in Uganda, but also fourth-year law students as well, Islamic University in Uganda, and I'm really excited to be presenting about our wonderful theme today. The theme, nurturing leadership and innovation in our youth. It is really an exciting theme, and so I can't wait to dive into the depth of it. When I saw the theme of today's presentation, I was really excited, basing on the fact that the youth are the generation of, the future. And so I was really excited, and then I thought of a topic. And then, you know what came to my mind? Self-leadership. Why did I come up with a topic that is self-leadership? It's because I believe you cannot lead or inspire the community or society or whatever you're trying to lead without self-leadership. You cannot lead others without leading yourself. Do you concur with me? I believe in a society where we have leadership, in a society where we have people that are leading us, these people ought to have a sense of self-leadership in them, because we believe you cannot lead others, like I said, without leading yourself. And so I came up with this topic, very prestigious one. I came up with also slides that I'll be referring to, just to follow as I present. I think I'll start my presentation in 3, 2, 1. Self-leadership, what comes to my mind when I talk about self-leadership, or maybe when someone talks about just self-leadership, maybe is a practice of influencing or maybe inspiring, the people that you're leading, or maybe yourself. Because self-leadership is a practice of inspiring or influencing your emotions, your behaviors or actions, and also at the same time influencing what you do in regards what you lead, in different aspects. I am personally a leader, and like I said, I am the Prime Minister of this institution, but also I lead in many other aspects because I hold different leadership positions in this university and also outside the university. And so I am really excited that I'm taking you through self-leadership, because I don't want to say I'm the perfect person that practices self-leadership, but we are here to learn from each other. And so, like I said, self-leadership is influencing, inspiring your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior, in regards wanting to achieve professional and personal goals. And so self-leadership is that kind of thing. And I came up with some of the types that we could refer to, or maybe principles that self-leadership entails. And I came up with 4 of them, which principles run self-leadership, because you cannot have self-leadership without the principles of them. You cannot come out and lead maybe the people you're leading, you're inspiring them, you're influencing them without these 4 principles. The principles that entail in self-leadership, or the principles that drive self-leadership, is self-awareness. That is the first one. Self-awareness. Do you know yourself? Do you know what you're in control of? And self-awareness, do you know who you are? Because you're leading the people, you're leading the society, you're leading a group of, you have a team. Do you know yourself? Do you know your values? Do you work with your values? Do you come up with, let me say, leadership roles or responsibilities that are under your values? And so I believe self-awareness is key in self-leadership. Also, maybe self-awareness brings in the aspect of acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses. What are your strengths? Are you strengthening them? What are your weaknesses? Are you weakening them? If you have a weakness of waking up at 4 a.m., do you set alarms to weaken your weakness? I don't know if that makes sense, but do you strengthen your strength, and do you weaken your weaknesses? And so I believe with self-leadership, self-awareness is the very first principle that we ought to, look at when we are tackling self-leadership. And also, maybe the second principle is self-discipline. Self-discipline in a way that, do you have the health habits that you are running your leadership? We have leaders that do not practice, I don't want to name and shame, but are you practicing health habits in regards to your leadership? Since we are youth, we ought to follow or recognize our emotions, because health habits does not only refer to maybe exercising or things of that sort. We could also recognize our emotions. Do you acknowledge your emotions in regards to your leadership? And so we believe that in self-leadership, like I said when I was starting this presentation, you cannot lead others unless you lead yourself. And so you're not going to come out and maybe, let me just give an example of myself. I was recently the president, human rights, and so we elected a new president. But when I was running my leadership as president, I remember sometime I delegated. I do that a lot. I delegated and I sent the vice president to, do an activity that I was not able to do. And so, because I did not acknowledge my emotions, I was really, I don't want to say pissed, but I fumed out of anger because I did not recognize my emotions. Yeah, and so I believe with self-leadership, you ought to recognize your emotions, acknowledge them, and control them. Like I said, self-awareness. What are you in control of? I understand. And so I believe in self-leadership, that is the second principle we ought to follow when we are following self-leadership. And then maybe the second, or the third actually, the third principle in self-leadership is self-ambition, or maybe what we call self-motivation. Are you motivating yourself in your leadership? Do you celebrate yourself when you come up with an achievement? When you succeed in something, are you celebrating yourself, or you're telling yourself, no, I should have done better? That is not how it works. That is not how self-leadership works. Are you celebrating yourself? Oh yeah, I did the best of what I would do. And then acknowledge that, yes, I did it. I did my best. Next time I'll do better. Yeah, instead of having negative thoughts on, oh my God, no, I messed up. That is not how it works. Self-leadership, you ought to have an ambition or motivation to what you do and what you think is right. And so in leadership, you ought to celebrate yourself. Like I said, celebrate yourself. That's all I can tell you, because you'll always do better if you acknowledge that, oh, I came up with a mistake, but yeah, I did well, yeah? And then you accept that, yes, I made a mistake here and there, but next time better. There are always many opportunities and chances when it comes to self-leadership. And then the fourth, because I said I would give you 4 principles, the fourth principle is self-management. Self-management brings me to an aspect of relying on your actions, but also looking at the vision as well. As a leader, I believe we ought to have visions in our leadership, and we ought to also have those visions align with our actions. Yeah, I'll give you an example of when this year was starting. I remember we were praying as a family. We do subuh as a family, Jama. And so after prayers, my mom suggested that we could do, or we could set our goals and objectives that we want for the year. And so I remember telling her many objectives that I wanted, even unrealistic ones. And then she told me, please be realistic to yourself. Set goals that you know you'll achieve in the long run. You understand? And so I believe with self-management, it comes out with the fact that you're aligning your visions, you're aligning your goals, your objectives, but are they realistic? Are they manageable? That is self-management. Are they doable? Or maybe I could give more synonyms or things of the same. You're aligning your visions, but in the long run, are you following up? Maybe you say this year I'll have a bank account which will have 5 million. Are you following up? Are you doing what you set as your goal? At the end of the year, look at what you set as your goals and leaderships, or goals and objectives. Have they come out to be a success? Are you achieving them? Is it going to be a failure? Are you coming up with them in the next year? And so you tick what was a success and what was a failure. And then you understand that with self-leadership, it comes with self-management. How are you managing yourself? Yeah. And then also with self-management, I think I talked about the aspects of internal celebrations, though I just talked about celebrating yourself as a person. but with self-leadership, we ought to have that internal celebration in us. Yeah, and me as a person, all the slides are out. So internal celebration is more of what positive thoughts do you have in your mind? Do you have thoughts that are demoralizing you in your probably next objective or next goal? Do you have internal celebrations or positive thinkings that are not taking you anywhere? You ought to have internal celebration in a way that, like I said, acknowledge your failures and say, oh yeah, I did not bad, I did not good, or maybe things of that sort, and then celebrate yourself where you did well and celebrate yourself where you know, you perfected. And so also with self-management, I came up with the aspect of inspiring oneself emotionally. That is more of the positive emotions in oneself. And so are you able to inspire yourself emotionally so that you inspire the society, so that you inspire the crowd that you're leading? Because with self-leadership, it starts with you. It starts with you. And then, because I normally tell my people, because when they were introducing me, they said that I do girl empowerment and women empowerment, gender equality. Oh yes, I do. And then I normally tell them, you cannot serve love or maybe pour, I don't know what I normally say, but you can't pour tea or love to people which love you don't have. You can't pour love from an empty cup. I don't know if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is, with leadership, you cannot pour out your leadership without self-leadership. And which is why I picked this topic, because it's worth talking about today. And oh yeah, self-management is out. I talked about the practice of success, and so I believe that we are good to go with that. And also maybe after telling you the 4 principles which I said, self-awareness, self-discipline, self-ambition or self-motivation, and also self-management, that brings me to the aspect of how we could regulate ourselves in regards self-care. Because as a leader, you're not going to stress yourself with leadership. Much as, yeah, we want to serve the community, we want to serve the society, or the people you're leading, you ought to practice self-care, because you actually run mad. The guild president will tell you, sometimes she runs mad. And so I always tell her, practice self-care. Just give yourself time to breathe in and out. Just do exercises, sleep, have enough rest, and things of that sort. And so with leadership, it comes with self-care. Yeah, and we practice self-care in many ways. We could have the emotional self-care, we could have the social self-care, we could have the physical, the psychological, and many other aspects. And so I believe with self-leadership, that comes with all that. And maybe self-care emotionally is, like I said, acknowledging your emotions, working with them, knowing what you're in control of, and believe that, yeah, I can actually do this, and do what you're supposed to do in regards to leadership. And so I think that brings me to almost the end of my presentation, and I want to leave something behind before I step out. I want to say that everyone can actually practice self-leadership. Everyone can actually practice self-leadership, but not everybody does. And that's why when I was starting the presentation, I said this is a really crucial topic, and I think it was the best for today. Everyone can practice self-leadership, but not everyone does practice self-leadership. And you know what the good news is? Self-leadership is applicable. It is. And it helps you become the best version of yourself. And I urge you all to practice self-leadership in regards all the aspects you're leading. I remain Sabila Sarah, the Prime Minister, Students' Parliament. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Let's give a round of applause to Miss Sabila Sala once again. You know, the world is full of good people, but when you find better people like Sarah, to see that at her age, she's trying as much as possible to see that the youth out there are trying to get what they deserve. We say that is Swadakatul Jariya. You know, I remember, I'm not a sheikh by the way, Sexibu, since you're in the house you might quote me wrong. But I remember, since it's a Friday, the story of the people of the cave, Ashab al-Kahf. After a long period of time, they were locked in the rock, and everyone came out to give out what they have done. Ask yourself as a youth, if we are locked in this boardroom, what do you give out to see that you're being let out? Do you have anything that you've done that can really help you out to see that you're bailed out of this boardroom? So we should do everything for the sake of Allah, so that we do not fall victims of, so that we can be helped. It is very important, very, very important. She talked about social life, how we associate different things with families. How many of you sit together with your families and you eat together? Some of you, when you gather dining, you serve and you go in your different rooms to eat, and actually you eat while WhatsApping or Snapchatting or LinkedIning. Is it there? How many of you are on LinkedIn? You see, some families do not allow the norm of eating while on phone. That's why they put the phones in the basket. Or else, some families do not allow you people to go in your different rooms to eat from there. There is magic. There is magic in sitting together as a family and you eat. What have we done? Our generation is very delicate. The generation that does not want advice, they use Kabojja. We've come with the Salam Symposium. Since it's the first edition of its own, and looking forward to seeing that we engage in news so that we can empower them. Ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker is Dr. Walugembe Ahmed, who is a lecturer at IUIU and MOBS at the same time, and is a member of IMSAC. Many of you have been in IMSAC very many years. IMSAC has been helping out students in secondary schools to see that they are on the same lane as Islam says. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the next speaker, who is none other than Dr. Let's put some Symposium.
Apologies of my cold, but I had already confirmed being here, so I couldn't just Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We thank the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has enabled us to be here this morning on this first symposium regarding the youth. And as earlier mentioned, we need to appreciate the power of the youth, especially in building our nations. We understand and know that our Creator Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, gave us that part of responsibility to ensure that there is some bit of transition in all what we do. There is a gap where we must make sure that we transit from one level to the other. So therefore, my discussion in a few minutes in this symposium is basically to bring out the aspects of why the youth. Why the youth? And then number two, you are a youth today. What should you do? What should be your obligations to ensure that you don't fall into the trap of those who are the youth before you? You will note that the youthful stage is not so long. Not so long. As you realize that you are, in a few years, you will not be one. So the earlier you realize and take note of that, the better for you. And that is key and extremely important. Therefore, be focus. You different generations, from one generation to another generation. In the middle, communicate to those who are above you. Those who are below you may not communicate to those who are very old. That's why you're always told that we must be merciful to both groups, a group below and a group. If you are the youth, you must be merciful to those above. You look at your mother, you look at your father, you look at those who aged them and have mercy for them. The same applies to law. The primary kid today going to in nursery 1, you have some bit of mercy as human being. So your responsibility is to ensure that you bridge that gap. As Muslims, our listeners out there, people who uphold the values of life are the youth. Those who uphold the values of life are what? Are youth. We may not go into deeper discussions, but you must appreciate that even those the Almighty sent as messengers, most of them were tested and given the responsibility during the time when they were youth. So therefore the concept of guardianship of the values, our values, is very important. It is you who should be the symbol of faith. The youth must be the symbol of hard work. The youth must be the symbol of discipline. If in terms of work, you must be an example. Those values. Then you will note that change elsewhere in the world, is driven by the youth. Everywhere you go, change is driven by the youth. I may not go political, but if somebody knows history of this country, I will ask you a question. When did the President of the Republic of Uganda start his political ambitions? What was his age? anybody in the audience with the answer? When did the president of Uganda start his political ambitions? What was his age? It is a question to you. We may not have time to interact, but think about it. I'll give you the most recent example. The example of the current leader of NUP. You will take note that his participation in politics started below the age of 40. Below the age of what? Of 40. And the definition of youth, depending on different dictionaries and different definitions, anything below the age of 40. In Uganda, after 18 to what? To 40. Other nations will give between 15 and 40. 40 is a symbol of growth, that you have grown. Despite the fact that beyond 40 you can still make a contribution to the youth. So my point is, you must drive change. And then the issue of leadership. Leadership. You are here today because you must succeed, and you are the successor of others, and so many of them. There are so many people who are looking at you after here. They are looking at you because after this interaction, after this discussion, you must be the one to come and take over. Now, that concept of developing future leaders is very important. We must make sure that we put it into our considerations. Islam tells us always to make the best of your youth before you become old. And it is always recommended that you have the best of energy. You have the best of energy. Your brains can work better now. You can use your energy better and better today. Those at university, you will take note that most of revolutions, most of the powerful revolutions involve university students. So if you are seated behind and you are at the university and you still think you are still very young to participate in revolutions, to participate in change-making initiatives, to go at the forefront, just know that you are losing every single minute of your youthful stage. Every single minute of your youthful what? Stage. It is very practical enough that we do it. I was the president of Musao, I think 2004, some good years ago, very young, but the things we did, I can't even now remember how we were able to do these things. You mobilize people, you put them together, you move journeys and miles, you do this and that, you organize different conferences and sessions, no resources, no what. But you only use your energy. You have the energy to move from door to door. You have the energy to visit each and everybody who is responsible. Now that is a very important aspect that you must take. It is very critical and important. What are the characteristics of the youth that we must take note of, make use of? What are those characteristics? Naturally, anybody within that has those characteristics. Naturally. How are we going to make use of them? And that is the issue. That is the message you must go back with. How are you going to make use of those very powerful characteristics and make sure that you build a future that is better for yourself? Number one, curiosity. The eagerness to learn. The desire to discover. If naturally all people in that age group, you must be able to move and discover. There's a book about curiosity, Who Moved My Cheese. It's all about the continuous search for opportunity day by day. The continuous search for opportunity morning and evening. Every now and again, there is an opportunity you are looking for. You must be able to search for it. You must be able to tap into that opportunity. And all youth, you have that trait. Number two, idealism. Ideology development. The concept of ideology is more political when you mention it. But besides the political argument, ideology goes into the concept of, do you have a purpose for living? Do you know why you exist? Now, most of our ideologies develop during this time. Either we learn them from our seniors or from our mentors. You have somebody who has mentored you. You have things from that person. Others, you will take note that they are, in terms of religious beliefs, if you can't strengthen your religious attachment at this level, then you're in crisis. It is important that you strengthen your religious ideology at this moment. If it is political ideology, develop it. It is an economic ideology. If it is a business acumen, develop it, so that you can look different and unique. The issue of energy and fertility. Agree with me that by physics, you have energy, you have capacity to work, you can move 100 kilometers and you don't feel it. You can run from morning to evening. You can read throughout the night and you rest in the morning. All those are signs of energy. So it's a trait that we have. Then the issue of technology survey. Digital world today. We are so much of digital oriented. It is during this time that each and every youth is trying to search for more digital opportunities. Some of you can have that phone and use it for 100 different uses. The phone can give you 100 functions. To your father and mother, there are 4 or 3. She can send a WhatsApp. She can send a text message. She can call somebody. What else? 3 or 4. For you, are thousands of them on that phone. Now that bit of being detailed is very critical. Another trait is being peer influenced. Largely influenced by what? By peers. Most of the youth we have today, they are largely influenced by peers. You go with groups. What this group is saying, you go with it. The other group is saying, you go with that. You have a gang around you. And you feel that that gang gives you protection. Where you are not, they cannot be. You are always with them to get that protection. Here is, how do you influence the peers to do better things? How do they influence you to be good? The youth out there must get to know that there exist good groups of people. People whom you can work with and they can add value to whatever you do. What have you done to ensure that you associate with groups of people who are unique in what they do? And that links into social connectivity. If human beings are social by nature, youth are social by character and birth. If you find a trait of a person who stays alone throughout the day, throughout the year, within that age group we talked about, that person then is a special one. In statistics we call it skewness. He has skewed. He is very far away from the tail. He is very far away from the middle point. People of our age, people of your age, under normal circumstances are socially created. That you learn a lot from social interactions. You construct a lot from social interactions. You must be able to join the social networks, the networks that drive change, networks that make a positive contribution. That's why you realize some of your colleagues who have been with these networks of associations from universities that make positive contributions have remained to be extremely powerful. By nature we are risk takers. As the youth, you are a risk taker. By nature, you risk what? That's why you can jump and your mother says, never know. Your mother will just wonder what is really happening. You'll be able to do what other people cannot do. Because you risk what? A risk taker. So the question goes back to you. What type of risks have you taken positively to achieve the best for yourself and for your future? What are those risks? There are some risks that we take and they are deadly. They are deadly. We can't mention all of them here because of time. But you know what you do and you feel, I did that. It was a shock that I did it. And because of risk, we are resilient. You insist and insist, I will not do it. You insist and insist and I say I will do it. It is what I want to do. Now resilience is a trait that we must use to achieve our best goals. We must use to achieve our targets. Use it positively. Make sure that all in areas where you cannot get what you want, you go back and go back again. and try till when you achieve the results that you want. The concept of innovativeness, innovative thinking. If you don't generate ideas today, you may not have good ideas tomorrow. Those who love the tech world, you realize that most of these beautiful business ideas in technology are developed by the youth between the age of 15 to the age of 40. After 40, you're on business management. After 40, you're trying to maintain and grow your empire. That's why, even when we talk about even issues of marriages, they can easily start and grow and strengthen at that age. Beyond 40, you are energizing and strengthening them. Beyond that age, you are trying to make sure it works. You bring out strategies, how can it work? And then, lastly, as a trait here, is the issue of emotion intensity. Emotion what? Intensity. Ladies and gentlemen, emotions drive what we do. But the youth, the emotions at the peak, emotions of love, emotions of anger, emotions of fear. All the types of emotions at the peak during the youthful stage. That's why they will ask you when you are 50, you understand? She's still young. Our emotions at the peak. But at that age, you must be able to use your emotions very well. Take the right decisions. If you're selecting a spouse, you should select the right spouse. Don't go with emotions of beauty. Don't go with emotions of money. I have some bit of money on me, and therefore I have the power to take each and every decision. Emotions are very important and extremely powerful. Therefore, go back and contemplate about these characteristics. If at the time we could discuss how these characteristics have been able to utilized, how are they impacted, or how did they impact the life of those who came before us? Go and take stories from a Sahaba. Go and take stories from the prophets, what they did during their youthful what? Stage. What they did. If you go back to the concept of curiosity, how the prophet was curious in terms of knowledge, it is extremely amazing. If you go back to risk, you go back to the story of Prophet Musa, the risks he took in addressing Pharaoh. Very interesting stories. The stories of Prophet Ibrahim, in terms of resilience, in terms of what? Resilience. They are very interesting stories when it comes to that aspect. So, ladies and gentlemen in this room, we must appreciate that God at this age has given you these characteristics. You have them in one way or the other. It's upon you to choose how you are going to utilize them. If you can sit on yourself with all this beauty. By nature, you have all these. The way you use them, it is upon you. All right. Remember the one hadith, the hadith of 7 people in the shade of Allah. And I will not go through all those 7 aspects of the hadith because of time, but I will pick out one aspect. That among the people who are going to be in the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those people who lived their youthful stage fearing the Almighty. Those who spent all their youthful what? Stage. That, how do you spend your time? How do you spend your time? Therefore, we are saying the way you spend your youthful time will determine your old age. You determine your level of happiness. You will determine all the things that you want to do. If you have academic targets, I have a PhD at the age of 35, I must have it. As somebody at 55 runs for it, you got it 15, 25 years ago. I must have finish this degree on time. When he used to be at Makere, Imam Senongo used to say that opportunities are for those who are ready. An opportunity will never wait for you. But the opportunities we have today in our youthful stage are so many that they live day by day and we don't even recognize that they have left. You don't even get to know that an opportunity did what? Left. But you have them. They come day by what? Day by day. Opportunities are for those who are ready. When they ask you for a degree, to bring it in 3 years, and you spend 4 years doing a degree, you have spent you have wasted 1 full year. You don't know how many companies may have taken you on. You don't know how many business investment opportunities you should have invested in during that 1 year, and you lost it because you have an extra 1 year. So learn to ensure that you therefore, how are you going to use the above characteristics to achieve the best out of our youthful stages? These are many. I will go through them quickly and then I will be able to submit. Ladies and gentlemen, please endeavor to explore and discover your passion. Endeavor to explore and discover your what? Your passion. Up to now, you are ready for marriage, but you don't even the type of the man you want to get married to. But you are ready. You are among the group that says anybody who comes my way. Very unfortunate. You must be able to set certain characteristics and deeply look out for them. When Allah does not give you those same characteristics, at least will give you something close to that. But when you say anything that comes my way, you will see what you will go with one day. Number 2, from curiosity we said continuous learning. Learning will never end. learning can never end. We must be able to take on whatever sorts of knowledge that we come across. It is a character of a good youth. The knowledge we acquire today is going to help you in the future. The knowledge that you acquire today is going to distinguish you. Why? Because knowledge will always distinguish people. Knowledge will always make you different. If you want to remain like everybody around, you stay the way you are. Don't leave IUIU if you came here at Females Campus with only a degree. There must be some other sorts of knowledge you have acquired that you must be able to go with. Number 3, build health relationships. It is very important. It is very insightful that we have relationships that can actually benefit you. Those are extremely powerful and important. And then the concept of financial literacy. It is during this time that you take a decision and learn the do's and the don'ts of money. The do's and what? And the don'ts of money. We must have that aspect in all what we do. 2 aspects will differentiate you. Number 1, the way you manage your money and the way you manage people. The way you deal with others on a daily basis will make you a different person. Will make you move miles away from them. And also the aspect of money. If you are the one who borrows every morning and you don't pay back, everybody where you stay around comes to you that, you know, you have my money, when are you paying back? So you go borrowing here from there, you know that if you're the one who uses school tuition fees for other aspects. Financial literacy. Then the aspect of positivity. Positivity. We live in the positive world, but full of negative energy. Negative what? Energy. Even when you're waking up in the morning to go for your lectures, somebody tells you that today we don't go. The lecturer may not even come. Do you think the lecturer will come? May not even come. You are entangled with negative energy. There's somebody who pulls you down every now and again, says, but why are you doing that? As you think of starting up like a small income generating project, he tells you it cannot work. As you think of going back for a master's degree, he tells you, master's degree for what? So many people don't have jobs. So meaning that you live around with people with negative what? The negative energy surrounding you. Remain positive. Remain what? We must cultivate a positive mindset. Without the positive mindset, with the challenges we have today, you can never go far. You have just a few minutes, you will collapse. Because those who are waiting for your collapse are so many, and they are eagerly waiting for you. So you must make sure that you don't give them a chance to collapse. You shouldn't allow that. As a result, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, try as much as possible to volunteer and give support to community. Give support to what? To community. You must be the person. You must be the person to bridge that gap. Sorry. I Our university motto, the IUIU university motto is, who knows it? IUIU is hosting us today. Who knows the IUIU university motto? Bridging communities. Bridging what? Bridging communities. There is a reason why those two words were selected. Think about them. There is a reason why those two words were what? Were selected. Why do we bridge communities? There is a lot. You may think that for you everybody is like you, but when you go back to your village, you are the one who is standing out. You are the special one. You are the unique one. You are the one whom they have never seen. So what contribution are you making to make sure that you bridge that gap? And then we must make sure that we change our physical and our mental well-being. Physical and mental what? Well-being. When we were discussing the characteristics of the youth, we talked about the issue of energy and the physique, you remember? By nature, because of your age. But do you maintain it? You must be able to move away from all sorts of activities that will make you lose this in the youthful stage. I don't expect a good youth to be close to drugs, drug usage, drug abuse. People are talking about HIV. You must have a solution, which you know, which is compulsory for you. Abstain. There is no option. You must remain active. That is very important. And then remember always to embrace change. Embrace change and embrace challenges. Challenges come with change, and change come with what? With challenges. Those should be in society, in our institutions, in whatever we do. All those are part of what we think that must be given that attention. But as I conclude on this, I encourage you, engage into what? Leadership. Engage into leadership. It is very powerful for you to engage into leadership. Leadership has so many things. Leadership makes you known even when you are very young. It introduces you to so many people at a very young age. It makes you more responsible, that even when you are leading just people in this room, you at least know people in that room. You know what they want and what you can do for them. They come for you for help just within this what? This room. Being the organizer of this symposium, it has a contribution. It exposes you to so many things. It is a campaign about awareness for you. That's why leadership becomes very important. Don't identify any leadership gap and fail to go and participate in it. Try as much as possible to participate in those leadership positions. We have gone through them and they have made us who we are. And then lastly, have a dream. Have a what? Have a dream. Know what you want in life. Have a dream. Set up some bit of goals. Look at an empire that you want to conquer at one time. That very big empire. People will think that you are mad, but you should look at it. Conquer the empire and you will get there. So my ladies and gentlemen here, as I conclude, I'd like to thank you very much. And also thank the organizers of the symposium. And I encourage you that always stay focused. Stay what? Stay focused. You stay focused. Our main issue here, go and try to utilize the characteristics of the youth that are naturally given. You have them. Turn them into opportunities. Let your energy become an opportunity for you. Let your curiosity become an opportunity for you. Let the concept of risk-taking become an opportunity for you. And those aspects are very, very important. Thank you very much. Allow me to take back this to the organizers to run the session. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum once again. Kindly let's give Dr. Walgembe a round of applause once again. Remember he's a lecturer at Islamic University in Uganda, and he's very resourceful, as you've seen the presentation. You know, he talked about participating in physical and mental. Some of you, my sisters and brothers, do not want to go to the gym, but you love eating. And when we eat, we do not have eating habits, especially in Africa. When there is gonja, we eat. When there is samosas, we eat. You can eat proteins the full day without having roughages on your menu. But because they taste different, you'll be like, I'm now on diet. I've taken milk with eggs or Rolex. Watch commando. At least commando is a bit okay because it has some iron in beans. But for chapati, they're full of carbohydrates. I think I'm not mistaken. My science is not that good, but at least I'm okay with it. Now, having a dream is something important. Dr. Olgeme, thank you so much for highlighting on that. Having a dream, when you have a dream, you have a purpose. And you laid it out very well. This is the Salam Youth Symposium. And we are talking about how we can help each other as youths to see that we are on top. And the theme for tonight is nurturing leadership and innovation in our youth. When you're constructing a house, the foundation is important. When we have a weak foundation, the full house is going to be weak. So if we are nurturing the youth of today, then tomorrow's generation is going to be mashallah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on, and we have our Vice Rector for Academic Affairs, who is none other than, who knows his name? I know. Do you? Were you in the orientation? Okay, what's his name? Sorry? Dr. Jamiru Sewanga. Abiba didn't guess. That's our boss. She understands your name very well. We're going to call Dr. Jamiru Sewanga just to give us, he's very resourceful in giving advice, especially that your youths. And he's a keynote speaker. And is going to give us a bit of career guidance to see that we are very well in terms of preparing for our future. Remember, we are powered by Salam TV, Islamic University in Uganda, Sam's. I think Sam's is giving out some pilau there. I don't know. Is it pilau? The snacks, eh? Yeah, they know, they understand ladies do not want to eat that much. That's why they bought snacks. And sacred pads, which are very good for our sisters. So if you got the shop, please do not forget to buy sacred pads. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and we welcome Dr. Jamilu Serwanga, who is the Vice Rector Academic Affairs, representing the Rector. Okay, thank you so much.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much, Mr. Afan. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Walugembe Ahmed, our director in absentia and represented by Madam Chambade, our guild president, the team from Salam TV. I could see everybody here happy, and we are live on air. Our partners in development, I see Sams. Is it Sams or Sums? What is the correct pronunciation? Sums, eh? Yeah, some people say Sams. And ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a great day for me and a moment to be standing in front of you representing the rector of the Islamic University in Uganda. Since morning, we started this program immediately after Fajr, and I want to thank the Salam TV. We have been together since that time, and we are still together. It's a great day for us to commemorate the Youth Symposium, and I want to thank the organizers on behalf of the rector and also the speakers, especially Dr. Walugembe. Thank you very much. And I don't want to talk much about Dr. Walugembe, but what I can say is really committed to human development. I think that is the summary. I don't know whether I'm naive or too ambitious, but that is his description. The message I have at this level is that we are the pillars of development as the youth, and our great grandfathers and mothers have put up all the efforts to ensure that we live a better life, and that is great for us. And now the question would be, what is your role? And you are the foundation for the next generation. The Africans have a saying, I don't know how I can put it in English, maybe Dr. Walugembe will help me, that emiti emito jejigumiza ekibira. Who can help me? Habiba, you are the helper. Translate that in English. Eh? Who can? This is an interactive session, and who can translate that? Even if it is just near those who know some Luganda. Everybody knows emiti, emito, and then ekibira, the forest. Okay. Everybody is shy, and I don't know whether I found the slides almost ending. That kind of I don't know, self-confidence and living in a position of positivism and not fearing to respond. You try, Let me see those who can really stand. The mental alertness. You cannot? Okay. Imagine a forest where there are no younger ones or younger trees. How will it look like? I thought you people, you are the youth. Now it seems you want to take my position. So it will be almost an empty forest. And if the trees, the grown up trees, are due for harvesting, what will remain? It will be an empty kind of space, and that will be total disaster in terms of deforestation. Those who have done geography and whatever environmental science. So which means that the youth, it is all there, the foundations of the future sustainable development. So we really thank the organizers and the partners in this process, and also the speakers. And here so far we have received and heard the message from Dr. Walugembe. So as the youth, and the message from the rector, Islamic University in Uganda, is informing you that the Islamic University in Uganda is there to support your growth in all dimensions of life. That's why the Islamic University in Uganda is built on 4 major core activities. Number 1, to teach you or to teach the current generation, which generation will be able to deliver correct content, correct skills, and correct attitude to the next generation. Then also to conduct research. See, research is very, very, very pertinent, and probably I will link that later on to the 21st currency skills. I saw some of the issues Dr. Walugembe was presenting. They were coming from that kind of position of the 21st currency skills. I know some of you could be having your smartphones. Just try to Google and check before I reach there. You will be aware. When we talk about the currency or the 21st currency skills, what do we mean? The third element and foundation for our growth and the development of the Islamic University in Uganda is innovation. We need to come up with the new ideas, new solutions to the current problems as the youth. Because for me, as representing the rector, I could be counting myself among those who are statistically dead. I don't know who can explain that. Those who are doing statistics and development studies. What is the life expectancy of Ugandans? Dr. Walugembe, I don't know how we manage these people. The current life expectancy, you can Google quickly. Let me open the class. Open and tell me the 21st currency skills and the life expectancy in Uganda or in Africa, Uganda, and the rest. And what did the Prophet tell us along those lines? The Ummah is, we are to live between 60 and what? 70. Which means that before 70, before 60, you are expected to perform as expected, to add value to the society. The negative energy Dr. Walugembe was talking about is not part of us. Then reaching 60, you are supposed to be parking and leaving the space for others. If not, it is a bonus. So for me, I'm almost in that side. And for you, you are supposed to come and take the seats and take the positions. If not, we are wasting our resources. And I really thank Salam TV for this kind of interaction. Look at that simple equation. Those who have done some bit of physics, even at lower level, a sliding scale. You slide forward, then you reduce the time from the other side. So this is the message. And when it comes to innovation, we should have a very innovative mind, not a destructive mind. What are the current problems you are facing? Okay, so the university, the education systems are supposed to give us that kind of foundation to be innovative and create and come up with the new solutions to our current problems. As we talk now in Uganda, we are really challenged, and we had a disaster, I think, at the beginning of this month, where there was a garbage slide. We have been talking about landslides and all of that, but now it is garbage. What are the solutions? And we are the people to give and do research and see. Maybe it is our behavior. How do you carry? In fact, the other time, Dr. Walugema and participants looking at the weight of a bunch of banana. Who can? Hey, did you tell me the life expectancy? Now another assignment. An average bunch of banana is how many kilograms? Okay, let us say 30, Dr. Walugema. Maybe 30. How many kilograms do we need for our consumption directly? 3. From that, okay, let us say 15. Half of it we peel, the banana peelings. I hope the youth these days, they know how to peel. Then where do you put the peelings? Okay, now it depends on where you are coming from. Some people don't know how that matoke you get in the hotel and at home, how it is. Right? So it means, therefore, that we need to get new ideas and being innovative to see that we can convert even the waste into other forms of resourceful items. The other issue which the university is looking forward to emphasizing and also ensure that you participate 100% is the community engagement. You need to look at the activities and your linkage to the community. I know very well that nobody here is coming from a position where there is no community, and it means therefore that we have our background to that connection of the community. So as we teach you, or as you go for the different education systems and positions, you need to know what you are getting in terms of education. The research, you are expected to participate in research. You are expected to participate in innovation, and also we need to carry this message to the community. It will be a loss of energy and other resources when we study without focusing to the community. But as we do all that, this has to be done with faithfulness, integrity, diversity, and also having that kind of understanding of the community which you are expected to support. So the Islamic University in Uganda is committed to ensure that what you get as youth is relevant in terms of the content, in terms of the skills, and in terms of the attitude. This is where we are. Attitude is now our biggest challenge. Somebody trains as a teacher, graduates as a teacher, you are expected to be very much supportive. Somebody trains as a medical personnel, you have to support. We hear stories, and these are very, very disheartening stories. A teacher abusing his students, a medical personnel even slapping, that don't waste my time, do ABCD immediately. So we feel that that attitude, which is very, very positive, has to come out of your training. So I know very much, and I'm sure that whoever is here has full information about the Islamic University in Uganda and our development partners, for example, the Salam TV and the other companies which are available. Let us take time and think about their responsibilities here and why they have decided to partner with us, and that means that they are committed and concerned with the development of our communities. As I mentioned, that IUIU is critical in that case, and looking forward to seeing that the youth of today are the future leaders, the future managers committed to deliver to the next generation. I mentioned about the 21st currency skills. I hope members, you have seen them, and you can check what Dr. Walgembe mentioned to you. But according to what is available with you there, they mentioned that there are 12 of them, and somehow if we integrate them, we are expected to be the best and the leaders of today and tomorrow. Number one, critical thinking is very important, and as we design our programs at the Islamic University in Uganda, and when you look at our core values, this is coming out very clearly that we need critical thinkers. We need critical thinkers. The time is not here, but check through. The information is already available. A critical thinker, and Dr. Walugemba has already talked about the characteristics of a youth. What are you supposed to be doing from morning to sunset? And you can have your very clear activity plan. Then being creative, that is very, very important. Look at what is surrounding you and what can you generate to support yourself and your community. Collaboration is very important. We need to work together. We need to form teams and read it together, work together, and see how we succeed together. Communication is now a challenge. In all our trainings, this is becoming a major foundation. You could have a very good message, but at the end of the day, you present it in a very, very destructive and negative way. Okay? It's like a marketing skill. If you are to market yourself, I don't know whether you remember the story of Prophet Ibrahim. Ajiri Chams is here, is my teacher of Islamic studies. When those people were making idols to believe in and to worship, what did he say? When he was left around and the other people had gone away? Who knows that story? The youth, Dr. Walugem, these people don't read. Eh? Yes, that knowledge. Okay, maybe my time I was given only 2 minutes. I've used 1. You see now you are complaining. Eh? Okay, maybe Ajiri Chams, you are going to speak after me. Please bring that message. It is the message. Dr. Walugem is an expert in marketing. Okay? If you don't package your words, however much they are very good words, but the way how you present them may disrupt the reception of that message. That is communication. And some of us, sometimes we keep quiet. When we have very big problems, communicate. And we have the protocol. Director is there, everybody is there, the guild president, or the leaders in the community. Some of us could be coming from outside. Information literacy is very important. Do you know what is going on? Which information do you have which is relevant for your survival as a youth and as a concerned youth and a potential future leader? Look for that information. And if you don't look for that information, I don't know how you are going to get to know, what is needed or what is going on in the world. Sometimes we are told that if you don't read, you'll never be a leader. Don't know whether that makes sense. Okay? Take note of information literacy, media literacy. You see, that screen is there, and there is a lot of information. Okay? The social media is there, TV, radio, newspaper. So be aware of the media issues, technological advancement, and literacy. Which technology do you know? And technology means what? Okay, this is the advancement in the production processes. Okay, you want to deliver a certain message, which technology are you going to use? Okay, now we have the issues of ICT, the issues of social media and all that. Okay, flexibility is there. Leadership, Dr. Olugemba has already talked about it. Being having the element of being initiative, or having initiative mind, a creative mind, productivity, and the social skills. How do you relate with your peers, your neighbors, even your family? Today, among the challenges we are facing is the misuse of the advancement in technology. What are we, how are we, and when are we using that technology? Some of us could be in class watching movies, okay, and you fail to benefit from that advancement in technology. We are talking about artificial intelligence today. Somebody given an assignment just goes to whatever website and downloads, and even forgets to remove the name of another person who wrote that, and you submit and you wait for marks. That is very disastrous. So let us adjust appropriately and see how we can add value to our communities and solutions to overcome the problems we are facing today. For example, poverty is almost on our faces in our communities. If you ask people what is poverty, they just tell you, look at me, look at him. That is poverty. Number two, unemployment. Let us be creative. Don't despise issues of employment. And today, employability is another challenge. People get first classes in terms of their academic qualifications, but they end up failing to retain those jobs. They attain, but in the end, they fail to retain. Don't know whether that makes sense to you as the youth. Which is better, to have a first class without morals, or morals without first class? Okay, that is my message. And then, today we are hearing about domestic violence. The youth, where are you? I don't know, this is high table, eh? Yes, Dr. Walugemba and the high table members. Today we have started listening to questions from the youth or from the children asking their parents that prove to me that you are my father. You get that? The younger ones have started asking. That is question number one. Prove to me that you are my father or my mom. If you are so, what next? So what? If you are my father, so what? Don't know which skill is there. And where are you picking these questions from? Okay? And then the other question, which is becoming very, very challenging, when are you dying? Okay? So I feel that those who have gathered here today and watching us on Salam TV, it means that IUIU is working along the clock to discern or to remove or to eliminate such kind of attitudes through the trainings and meetings and teaching that we are making. And I really thank the organizers of this symposium and the Salam TV and our partners, the Shums and whatever, for having organized this kind of interaction so that we come and share the messages. I know I've taken more 1 minute or two, but it was really purposeful to come to that level of understanding. I want to wish everybody good deliberations in this symposium and commit IUIU to value addition of your stay here, and even ensure that our partners will keep in touch for the development of our new generation and future generation and all the humanity. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh once again. Thank you so much, Dr. Jamil Serwanga, who is the Vice Director, Academic Affairs. We appreciate your able leadership and the rectorship at the same time for having moved ahead to see that the university is on the right track. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, we also have a senior lecturer, Haj Luchamzi. He has very many names and he usually gives out gifts to whoever knows those names. There are very many, alhamdulillah, and I believe they fit your values and respect you have for the Muslim community, especially in the world of academics. You have seen very many people succeed, and for that we really appreciate. We also have Madam Zaitun Kachama, who is going to be our next speaker. But before I go onto that to call her, we have the head research and innovation, Madam Chambade, say salam and wave to the audience. Madam Chambade. Who is representing the director, Associate Professor Dr. Madina Nabukira. I will not introduce that gentleman whom you're seeing there because he's going to come after Hajat. I'm reserving him for purposes. But just to know, you'll enjoy and you'll understand. Ladies and gentlemen, since we are out of time, today is Jumu'ah. Let's put hands together as we welcome Hajat Zaitun Kachama to see that he gives us what we really need as youths. You're welcome.
Okay. All praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Master of the universe, the one who wrote that we shall be here this afternoon. We want to thank him for the blessings that he continues to give us every single day. And we pray that all that he has endowed on us helps us to worship him so that we can be able to be rewarded here and in the hereafter. I want to thank the organizers of this event. I understand it is the first of the kind. I'm blessed to be among the ones who are breaking the virginity, and we pray that it continues to be enhanced and help as we continue and grow. I want to thank the partners and the sponsors of which I'm part, who have chosen to be part of this very, very important event. I want to thank IUIU, my friend, I'm a friend to IUIU, for choosing to take care of the youth, because the youth is really the best of the community. My name, I need to say something about myself. My name is Zaitun Kachama. Zaitun Kachama is an artist by profession. I did Bachelor of Industrial Fine Art at Makerere University. I'm a teacher, secondary school teacher by profession. I went back for education again in the same university. I hope to come to IUIU for something, because it is incumbent. Everybody associates me with IUIU. But while at Makerere University, I remember I was part of the youth that Dr. Walgebe was trying to define, the youth that were blessed to be part of the Muslim movement at the university. You know, it is a blessing. Many people are in the IUIU, but they are not proud to be Muslim women or Muslim males. It is quite very unfortunate. But most of us from Makerere, that has a number of pictures, many people don't even believe that we are from there. We were able to pass through that university and be part of the movement that our professor was trying to define. The youth that chose to be part of the movement and growth of the Ummah, because it is very, very crucial for the youth at that stage of university where nature and the world is providing you a lot of temptations, where shaitan thinks that he can win you over. So I'm blessed to be part of that, and I'm truly very proud, and I pray that Allah keeps me in that picture. Why am I here? A little more about myself, because it is important for the ladies especially to know some of these things as we stand here. I am a counselor. I come from Professional Counselors. I have always had a passion of giving hope and providing positive energy to everybody around me. And I am a certified life coach, very interested in personal growth and relationships, because these are things that are tiny but very important as we go through this world. I am a mother of 10 children, 5 boys and 5 girls. I have been married for the last 21 years. And I got married to a virgin man, and I was a virgin. Those are things that have to be very highlighted. Whenever I mention that, people ask me that, how do you know that your husband was a virgin? I just knew. I didn't need to ask so much. My husband is a student to Mr. Luchamuzi, Haji Lukoya Muhammad. Even today he looks a virgin. Yes, he's quite a very humble gentleman and very good to be around. I wanted to be a person who inspires the woman, and alhamdulillah, Allah has given me this. Why am I here this afternoon? I have been sent by one of the big investors in this Ummah, Tuwereza Agencies. Tuwereza Agencies is a Muslim business entity in Chikubo. They are willing to support every Muslim activity that can be able to help us move further. And specifically, we are here to share with you one of the products that we need, especially the youth, the young woman or the woman, so that we can be able to achieve the aspirations that we are looking out for in this life. I was requested to share a little about menstrual hygiene and management. That is why I am here specifically. Menstruation is something that has to be understood by all gender. All the men and all the women must appreciate menstruation. Most of the time, especially in our ummah, when we talk about menstruation, the man wants to look aside. And it's really very sad, because the girl child has her father as her first boyfriend. And it would be very nice for the dad to probably buy his daughter her first pad. It would be very nice to help your daughter appreciate what the menstruation is bringing in as the father, because out there are males who are going to disturb your daughter if she did not understand what menstruation comes with. So I want to encourage all the male folk to be very attentive when we are talking menstruation, hygiene and management. There are so many mothers that dropped out of school because they never understood menstruation. There are so many girls, some of them are our sisters or our relatives. They dropped out of school because they didn't know that menstruation meant that they were able to become pregnant. So we want the males I wanted that to come out as a highlight, to be very, very attentive when we are talking menstruation. And for those who are present, the males, we salute you. You probably will take this message to those who are out there. What is menstruation? Menstruation is just a part of the female's life. It is a sign of growth. It is a sign of a normal woman. It is a sign of health. It is simply a time when the body starts to expect conception. Every single month normally, the body or the uterus or the reproductive system is expecting the woman to give birth. All right? So those who are in school, we really congratulate you for not giving birth, especially the younger one, the youth. We encourage and we really want you to appreciate that you can be in your menstruation comfortably and wait to give birth at the right time. So while we are in secondary school, we usually even give them gifts and we tell them that keep enduring the menstruation because it is a sign that you are a good girl, at least for that month. It is a sign that you have not played with any boy. All right? And for the university students, it is a sign that much as you played with a boy, like some of you are, you never got pregnant. All right? So menstruation is simply when you never get pregnant, your uterus is going to just shed off the lining that was waiting to keep your baby, and some blood and tissue will come out of you. And it is a normal thing. It is a good thing. I usually tell people that menstruation is a blessing because there is no man who will want to marry a woman who doesn't go into her menstruation. I don't know if there is any here. Because menstruation shows that the woman that is going to be taken is fertile probably. And all men are looking out for fertile women. All right? So menstruation is a blessing, and all the women out there should be happy when this time of the month is coming, because it is a sign that you are a blessed woman. All right? Menstruation shows that you probably have ability to give birth. It is not automatic. There are people who go into menstruation, but they will have challenges when it comes to giving birth. But it is a good indicator that you can be a mother. Any woman here who doesn't want to be a mother? Any girl here? Any person here who doesn't want to be a mother? So menstruation is a positive sign that shows that you can be a mother. One of the things that we have found is much as menstruation can be said as a good thing, it has become a challenge to the girl child. And when we look at the statistics, like the vice rector was telling us to Google tells us that over 23% of the girl child between 12 and 19 or 18 drops out of school because of unmanaged menstruation. Many of our friends, probably some who were with in primary, never finished school because of menstruation. And it is not something that we should pause about. Just like this volcano that happened in Chitezi. I really don't understand some of these things. But these are things that can be managed. Waste can be managed. Menstruation can be managed. All right? We have 1 out of 10 girls missing classes, having inability to concentrate and even be able to pass their examination simply because of the challenges that come with menstruation. And yet these are manageable challenges. We have a number of girls, especially when COVID happened, that got pregnant and their first menstruation was their first period. We have girls that never had their first menstruation. It's like the time she was going to get the first period, she was pregnant. That was the time when we were experiencing the baby mothers. Many of us saw them on the television while we were closed in our houses. So we need together as the Ummah together as people who have been blessed by education, the change makers Dr. Walgebe was trying to define, people who need to make impact on the community. We need to help the community appreciate menstruation, and we should come together and help the community or the society manage it. The other thing that is very, very important to note, a lot of potential, a lot of ability, a lot of maybe the things that would get out of the women has been cut short or cut down by a very big percentage because of menstruation. There are so many women who could have been leaders, maybe. There are so many women who could be, you know, like the intellectuals, people who would be very important in this community. But because of some time when menstruation was not managed well, their potential has not been tapped. Many of the dreams have not been touched. Many of the aspirations have not been, you know, acknowledged. And we have a lot of low self-esteem in the women's, you know, in women's community because of menstruation. So we want to move to the next section. What does menstruation come with? Much as it is a beautiful thing, we need to appreciate that menstruation comes with a number of challenges. Most of them are psychological, many of them are physical, and some of them are social and economic. When menstruation comes to the girl child, to your daughter, your sister, your mother, or your wife, it usually comes with hormonal imbalances. And when our hormones are imbalanced, there is a lot that is going to come with us. It is when your wife is going to look funny. It is when she will start abusing you. It's the time when we have a lot of mood swings. It is when we can't smile. And there are times when we will want to, those for the adults, sometimes the woman will develop a lot of attachment to the husband. She will probably wish the husband to stay around, not to even go to work. So this is when this is why we call for the man to be also sensitive when we come to sharing this information. So what kind of woman does your female counterpart become when menstruation comes? Does she become wild? Does she become introverted? Does she become sick? Does she become, does the self-esteem go down? Some of them feel like they don't even want to exist. Some of them are even bedridden. I have a friend who used to be so sick that she would miss lectures for nearly a week. She is sick. She is in the bed. She even cannot say her name. She can't even change her pad. And it was a norm. Every other month, this used to happen to her. So every person who is near someone who is going through or who is towards their menstruation, we need to be very sensitive. So menstruation comes with a lot of body pain. It comes with body aches at the back, in the abdomen, in the head. Someone has temperature. The breasts are very painful. They are sensitive, and so many other things, but different from every other person. We don't have same, experiences. But menstruation comes with a lot of discomfort. Many people, when menstruation comes, they are going to lose appetite. Many are going to, the skin is going to change. Many get pimples. We usually call it acne. People have, girls don't want to eat as lifestyle. It's trendy not to eat a lot. You in secondary school, you don't want to be seen taking posho and beans every single day. It's not something to, and so this is going to affect us. So someone doesn't want to eat, someone is dehydrated, there is a lot of anemia, and so many other things that we shall find out. The things we are mentioning are going to be happening to someone very, very close to you. So please take this as very valuable information. Now, when the challenges come, we usually tell the woman that the world is not going to stop because you're menstruating. All right? Your boss is not going to wait for you while they're waiting for a certain assignment or a certain something that has to be done because the period has come. The examinations will not stop because you have cramps. The campaigns, for those who are politicians, like I saw a sister here, the campaigns shall not stop. The nominations shall not stop. You know, love will not stop. Money will not stop. The world will continue, much as you're having this comfort from this natural happening. So we encourage women to embrace this part of the month, to make sure that you are up, that you are moving, and everything is happening as it is supposed to happen, much as there is something that is happening inside you. So you have to compete. You have to continue with the, the excellence. We must continue with performance, no matter how much blood is coming out of us. We tell the girls as we visit them in schools that you have to get those grades, even when it is UNEB time. Because sometimes UNEB will come and your periods are just coming, or you are in the middle. But you have to pass. You have to excel. You have to, for those who are in polygamy, we usually tell them that you will not go, your co-wives will not, stop doing what they are doing because for you in your periods. And your husband will not suffer because the periods are happening. You need to up the game. You must continue on the journey of success as the periods are happening. So how do we manage? It's not so hard to manage menstruation. It is not very hard to manage the cycle. We simply need to take on, someone mentioned self-awareness. We talked about self-love. We talk about self-care. We talk about self-discovery. This is part of menstrual management. One of the things that are very key, especially at this stage at university, you need to know your cycle. You must know your cycle. How many days is your period? And at the end of your period, how many days do you spend when you are not in your period? When is it coming? What does your body, which message does it send when the period is coming? Because this is separate from your neighbor. It is very, very unique. Everybody has a different experience. You are going to find someone who doesn't have cramps at all. Somebody who goes into their period and I apparently do not change a lot. I will have a very tiny pimple on my face, very tiny, you cannot even see it. It is only me who knows where it is. But like we mentioned, there are people who have the extreme bit of it. So you need to know which kind of menstruating women are you. Because this is even going to help you when you come to this side where we are. Your doctor, when you get pregnant, for example, will usually ask you, one of the first or important questions is, when was your last period? And one of my doctor friends usually tells me that, you know what, Zaitun, many women do not know their last period when they get pregnant. And it is very common in the Ummah to get accidental pregnancies. Very common. And it is very common in the Ummah to have children who are not spaced. Simply because we are not taking care of our menstruation. Because menstruation is one tool that we can use for family planning. But most of us in our families, I'm testifying because I have 10 children. Most of our children are not spaced. And this, for another session, affects our children. It affects the quality of the kids that we have. All right? So we want you to understand your cycle. You need to be a quality woman who knows that this small pimple that is coming on my face shows that in probably 3 days to come, I'm going into my periods. And this is when you pick a pad and you put it in your purse or in your backpack or in between your book. So that you're not this kind of girl who is requested to present something in the lecture room and you stand up and you've spotted. Recently we saw a member of parliament. Did you see that? It came on social media where a member of parliament who had come on that day dressed in a white suit, very, very clean and, trim and on point. When she stood up to come and address the audience, she had a mark on the buttocks. This shouldn't happen to people like us. It should not. So if you're not aware of, at least be the person who moves with their part every single day. Move with your pad. It's not a heavy thing. So that when you feel something is not normal, you can quickly move to the bathroom and change. Nobody wants to see that. That is why, where we're coming from, secrets. The slogan is secrets no one needs to know. Yes, it is a natural thing. Yes, everybody is aware. Yes, all of us have been in school and reproductive, you know, when we're talking reproduction, menstruation was taught to the boys and girls. But when your period comes, no one needs to know. So you need to learn your cycle. It is going to help you very much. The other thing that is important, as I'm hearing the adhan, it is important for us to do a lot of hydration. Take a lot of water, especially warm water. Whenever you see a girl taking refrigerated water, tell her that she's killing herself. Tell her that she's killing her love life. Tell her that she's killing her marital life. Those will be other sessions. We don't take refrigerated water. But when menstruation comes, we do not even touch. We take lukewarm, warm or hot fluids so that we can be able to help the blood move easily. The other thing that is important, do exercises. It has been mentioned here. The youth today are so docile. The youth today are so dormant. The youth today are so idle and they're so bored. Today we have girls who spend the whole day in bed. We have youth who spend the whole day seated on the phone, watching TV and doing, you know, games and all those things. So whenever you are, and if you're not active, you're going to have challenges in your periods. Because if the blood is not moving, you are going to get the cramps that we know. And it is simply because the blood is having difficulty in moving. So do exercises. Be active towards and in this part of the month. We request you to feed well. Stop doing SAMs. I'm sorry to decampaign the brand. Girls overdo snacks. Snacks are something we do we eat them as a luxury. It is, you know, you do SAMs when you're congratulating yourself upon having done something. But we don't snack as breakfast, lunch, supper, and someone is snacking. Today we have a lot of infertility happening because the girls don't want to eat. As lifestyle, by the way. Someone is posing, "May don't eat that." Please do your beans, do your posho, as long as you cannot, you know, get yourself another meal. It is important to feed your body well so that you can have enough blood to even let off in your menstruation. Please avoid self-medication. Today we have mothers that pop Panadols for their daughters. That please, when the time comes, we don't do self-medication. We do not do Panadols when the periods come. You are going to grow up and you're going to have a lot of toxins in your bodies. And this is why we have so many cancers happening to the youth. We need you to stay around. They were telling you, today it's like, I was telling her, and she was like, no, but it's like, today. There are a lot of beautiful things the youth are killing intentionally. There are so many beautiful values that we've had and the youth don't care about them. There are a lot of things that the Ummah needs. There are a lot of values that the Ummah strives for, and the youth are so careless about them. So when I say you need to prove me otherwise. All right? So please, please, please feed for yourself. Feed for your future children. You don't want to give birth to children that... Today we have girls that are giving us eggs that are not mature. This is supposed to be a longer session, but because of time, there are so many people who are unable to hold babies. The uterus cannot hold a baby. The eggs are coming, the sacs are empty. All right? It's simply because you're not feeding at this time when you are developing and growing. The other thing that is very key for you, just ensure that you're very clean. If you don't love bathing, normally, when the time of the month comes, please help us. Please assist us. Averagely, bathe twice a day. Change your pad in the middle of the day. Go check on yourself. Because you don't want to be told that, hey, please, may you have my sweater. And it is a man who is even giving you his sweater. You don't want that to happen to you. When you are a member of parliament, when you are a lecturer, a professor, You don't want that to happen to you. So please, 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 this is a personal game. Menstruation is a personal game. We were talking, my sister said, she talked about self-management. It is part of self-management. Now, lastly, I don't want to share anything more. Lastly, we need to choose the right sanitary usables. You need to have the right, proper and safe sanitary menstruation usables. Now, for the fathers here, which pads do your daughters use? For the girls here, which pads do you use? We are yet to find out. One of the reasons why I stand in front of you, me too, I have just found a pad made by the Muslim Ummah. It is made by Muslims and it is designed by Muslim boys. Very beautiful product. Designed by boys. By the way, one of them is single. Oh, interesting, eh? Could be a good candidate for marriage, eh? Yes. So you tap me when I'm going out, eh? And we see what we can do. So Tourism agencies it's a business entity. It is ours. They are our people, and they are the ones who are giving us secrets. Secrets is simply a sanitary. It is a range of products that are going to help us through this. Secrets comes with 4 types of pads. We are going to see them out there. It comes with very pocket-friendly, costs, 2,500 to 5,000 shillings. Is that expensive? 2,500 to someone is like, no way. 2,500 to 5,000 shillings. It comes in 100% pure cotton. One of the things that our pads do to us, they burn us, don't they? They irritate us. They stink. When we are peeling them off, okay, someone is bringing some for us here. When we are peeling them off from our panties, they tear and they pour out. Has this happened to anybody here? Yes. And when you're using your pad, you don't even want to look at it. They look ugly. Okay, we have pads that when they absorb blood, they become so big and your locomo changes. I don't know if locomo is still a usable word. For us, we used to use it called locomo. The way you move, eh? Girls, we are supposed to walk in some nice, nice way. So you have this pad that is kind of making you move in some sort of way that I won't be able to demonstrate. We have a pad. We have pads that when you use them, you always have to check yourself. Am I okay? Am I okay? You whisper to your neighbor when I stand up, eh? Men, these are our secrets, but we have to share them this time, eh? So when you're standing, you tell your neighbor, please check, go, before I move out, eh? So we have such pads, and we have pads that are unable to absorb the amount of blood that we release, eh? So we have a brand here. The reason why I'm proud to share it, it is ours. It is our own. And why not support our own? So Secrets is supporting us. It is supporting the youth. It is supporting our families so that we can be able to, enjoy menstruation. Please choose this. It comes with 4 types of pads. And in here we have what we call a feminine wipe. A feminine wipe is simply a wipe that you are going to use when you go to the bathroom and there is no water. And you're in your periods or they're coming, you will simply wipe yourself and then you can be able to do something more. Or if you're done, if just even having the wipe, because these are the wipes, feminine wipes. Hey, gentlemen, wipes are also good for you. There are times when you go to the bathroom and there's no water. So it is sealed in here. You buy it and put it in your car. So you just pull it out as you're going to the bath. You put it in your coat. It is very tiny. It fits there. It is something that you can give to your wife as a birthday or Valentine. For those who celebrate. Some people told us it is haram, eh? But we wonder when they celebrate love in Islam anyway. So the wipe is it is as tiny as this. And then we have panty liners. Panty liners. Sometimes you don't need a pad, especially when the period is coming. The blood it's just a little spotting, eh? The blood is not yet there. So you only need a panty liner, a small thing like this. And then when the period is about to finish, you don't need to spoil your pad. You only put a panty liner as you're completing your period. Interesting, eh? Very beautiful. You can even put it in your veil somewhere and you move around. Very portable usables. Our part, someone did marketing and is wondering, well, where did Zaidun learn these things from? We have a pad that has mint in it. Mint in it. I don't know if there's a husband who would love their wife to smell mint. And mint neutralizes the odor, because as the blood comes out, the scent down there is disturbed. So we neutralize that bad scent that is coming. And then we have this green thing. It is technology. All right? It is an iron chip. When we are in our periods, the blood is coming out and oxygen is disturbed. The movement of oxygen in our system is disturbed. So this green is an iron chip that is going to enhance oxygen movement in our body. Many girls faint when they're in their periods. I don't know if any teacher has experienced this. A girl is in her periods and then she faints. And some teachers don't want to listen. The girl is like, Master, I'm not supposed to pray. And the guy is on the girl. And you know, and the girl just like passes out and things become very dramatic. So we have this more information shall be given to you at the table out there. I want to conclude this session by telling the women out there that Allah created the woman as a blessing to man. Tell yourself that I'm a blessing to man. The gentlemen cannot survive without us. Yes. I have experience of 21 years. Your man to come needs you. All right? The men and the community need a very well managed, a focused woman, a clean woman, a woman who understands herself. Your children, like you're going to have them, they need to look at you when you are stable, when you are healthy, when you are looking nice, and you can be able to be their role model. Many of you, your mothers are not your role models. I have found out. You are looking up to singers, actors, comedians. Your mothers have not managed themselves, so you look on the side for a role model. When we manage our menstruation, we are going to turn into the woman that the Ummah is looking for, the woman that the community is looking for, the woman that men are looking for. Some of you are single and searching. Single and searching? Put up your hand. Kala would have helped if you had put up your hand. So please take this as very key. It is very important to manage your menstruation cycle so that we can be able to rub shoulders in the corridors of success. If you don't manage menstruation well, you are going to miss so many things that you could have touched in this world, probably even Jannah. All right? And then lastly, please don't hide in menstruation. Muslim girls, you usually extend your menstruation. You have finished, but you don't want to do ghusl. Anybody who knows someone who does that? It is time for prayer, and they are extending. Prayers, I'm not supposed. Prayers, I've not had my ghusl. As if ghusl is bought from a supermarket. So I want to thank you for listening to me. We pray that this makes us better women and better men. Thank you, and we pray that Allah rewards us for this time. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh once again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi once again. They are taking our biscuits. Okay. Thank you so much for that wonderful session. It is actually very important for us to note we've been illiterate about the knowledge that we also have the wipes. We shall have them, inshallah, especially the married ones. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me welcome the head of Corporate Affairs at Next Media, and is going to present about opportunities for youth in mainstream and digital media. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our last speaker, who is Desire Drakeford Mugumisa. Yeah, bring that microphone too, so that we can do it. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
So about how many minutes? 15, 10? As long as it reaches 1. Okay, it's all right.
My name? Should we just continue? Am I audible enough? Okay. All right. I think it's a connection issue. All right, I'll try to be as audible as I can for now as we get the microphones corrected. But my name is Desire Drakeford Mugumisa. I am privileged to work with Next Media, a place that is, well, full of so many young people, like the faces that I see here. And I was asked to come in and share with you on the opportunities for the youth in both mainstream and digital media. So, I think we'll just go. All right. So, my career as far as the media is concerned has gone about 18 years. I started out as a teenager, so I'm not very old. I started as a teenager back in 2006. Okay. And I just started, vacation, you are out there, someone says there's an opportunity, you take it up, not knowing where it can go. And I've managed to survive this long. And I will say that the media is a great opportunity. When we started out, it was really a place where we felt honored to be on TV or on radio, and you felt like you also needed to pay those people that gave you the opportunity to be there. But over the times, it has become an actual opportunity to work. It's a job. And I want to believe that we all experienced COVID-19 and what it did to the use of these devices that are in our hands. Nowadays, it's much easier to be a media personality than it was for us when we started out, because maybe there were 4 or 5 TV stations back then. Maybe one might offer you a job and another not, and all of those. So the opportunities within the media are still there. They're still huge. However, I will tell you that COVID-19 has meant that all of us are indeed in the media. The question is, what are you going to do with that opportunity that mobile phone offers you? Today, I'll say that when we started out, we worked to put together, as an example, a news bulletin that by then I was with Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, ran at 7 p.m. Actually, it was 8 p.m., 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. And you covered the news through the day to ensure that you had something to put out at those 3 hours. Today, even for the media houses that we want to join and work for and all of those, it is very important what is on the timeline on social media. Because if you don't pay attention to it, then you will not be relevant when your bulletin comes up at 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. So if NBS TV, Salam TV, and all of these other TV stations are paying attention to this device, why aren't you as a person? And for me, the opportunities I'm going to share with you on mostly, because again, we are constrained by time, is that it is about time that that device you hold in your hand is not just about you making phone calls. There are so many other opportunities that are on these devices that you need to make use of. We had a speaker who was speaking about how they can help you with answering questions in your exams, though we are going about it the wrong way. But it's also an opportunity for you to stand out and be different and stand for something. The difference today is, please do not be out here at IUIU and all you are working for is to get a job and be a news anchor. It's a beautiful job, I'm not saying it's not. But everyone that walks into a media house today wants to be a news anchor. So why are you 1,000 people competing for that job of about 4 people or 3 people? Are you resigning yourself to wait for their death or so you can get to take over it? Because as you wait, they're also gaining experience and all of those. There is a great opportunity for us on digital media. And this does not ask you to stop doing what you're doing today. It is saying, go ahead, study to be that lawyer that you're studying to be. You know, study to be that doctor that you're studying to be. If Hajat Kachama here started a TikTok channel talking about the beautiful things that she's spoken about today, imagine how influential she would be. Imagine how much more secrets she would sell. Imagine how many more people would learn about the things she has shared with us. We were men seated here and we were like, oh, that also happens? That's what actually happens and all of that? So the opportunity that we have is that there is a lot of people here who are educated, who are going through an education, who are learning the basics about life, who are experiencing life and being prepared and regulated, that can be those people that can fill the spaces that we currently have with people who are a bit reckless. You know, social media has been taken up by a couple of people that are quite reckless. Unfortunately, those that are reckless tend to be even more popular and all of that. So we have an opportunity as young people that are coming up, that are picking up on the right things, to come through and fill that space. There is a thing that we say at Next Media, and that really is also our mission, and that is to inform, to transform. It is just a sentence, isn't it? But when we think through it deeper, it is to say that if I'm going to be an entertainment TV presenter, as an example, what does inform to transform mean? That means that if an artist faults, if really I'm using my platform to inform to transform, I will look for an angle that causes transformation that I will cover. Not just to report, and then what? What are people picking up from that information that you've gotten to pick up on? So we have that opportunity. And the roles in there are so many roles. Today, again, like I said, you don't have to stop studying what you are studying to benefit from the digital era. There are going to be jobs such as social media manager. But a social media manager who understands menstrual health will be very valuable to a company like Secrets that we are talking about today than it is to a person, or than a person who has studied maybe engineering, you know. So I can study engineering, understand it, and not be an engineer, but be a digital influencer, a social media manager, and all of these kinds of things. Gone are the days when these were badly paying jobs. We have some people who are very popular across the world, who are millionaires even, that are operating on social media, that are operating on channels like YouTube. Today, when we were growing up, our parents couldn't buy us PlayStations, as an example, or games, or video games and all of those. But we have teenagers whose actual job is to play video games. and they stream them and they earn out of them, and it is a lifestyle. But at the end of the day, it is also about and I'm glad that we're having programs like these that are 360. We've had someone talking about career guidance, we've had someone talking about menstrual health, we are now talking about opportunities in the digital and all of that. Please do not take our messages independently. Take them together, holistically. Because that person that is making those big amounts of money on YouTube is doing it because they are able to manage themselves. You need to put out a video every day, for example. Do you understand the discipline you need to put to ensure you have even a 10-minute video every single day? Do you realize that you lose your life? For you think, it's very easy and all of that, so I have a lot of time, I'm just going to chill. No, it's a lot of hard work to be able to find a video that is relatable, a topic that is relatable, so that you can get the views or the engagement that you need to continue being relevant among the people that you are serving. Yeah. So again, these are conversations that you can have over and above, but as far as the digital era is concerned, content creation is a big thing. These things that you go through daily, these things that you study daily, even if you are a lawyer, what content are you creating? What do we know you for? And please identify that niche. Don't be the person that today you're talking about football, tomorrow you're talking about cooking, then the other day you're talking about menstrual health and all of those kinds of things. You've identified your niche. It's called a niche. This is one thing that we need to know you for. Don't try to, impress just about everyone. The moment you start impressing everyone, then you're a jack of all trades. What is it about? People have got to know you for something. So digital marketers, data analysis, those are big, roles that are being played as far as the digital era is concerned. Today, we are no longer relying on things of my sister told me, my brother told me, and all of that. People are relying on numbers. Don't convince me that people love this one thing. Why do they love it? Where are the numbers in it? And all of that. And of course the influencers, those are all roles. But one thing I will tell you, from my experience, start and be consistent. Be aware of what the digital realm can offer to you. You cannot be so proud about, AI has come. Those people are over paying attention to it, and you are not paying attention to it. You need to. Because if you don't, then those that are paying attention to it will overtake you. Yeah? Today, it's no longer about, and you will see, it's now, yes, there is AI, now we can use it. And that is because it is at the intro level. There is going to come a time, and the time is now really. It's also about how well do you use it. It's one thing to know it. Yes, I know ChatGPT. Yes, I know Gemini, or any of these other AI platforms and all of those. But all of us now know it. What can you do with it? It's like being a carpenter. Yes, I know a lander, and I know a hammer and all of that. But there are some people who can create better furniture than others in all of these kinds of things. So again, these are all tools. You are the one that knows your story. Don't change because, Desire does this, I need to also do that. No. Be the holistic person, be the one that is disciplined and all of these kinds of things. But please, pay attention to the trends, especially in your field. If it's nursing, pay attention. What are these trends that are happening? The digital world moves so fast. And it is those that pay attention to it and try to, give it their dedication that get the most out of it. Other than that, again, this is a conversation for me that is about life. Digital, the opportunities that there are the opportunities that are in the workplace and all of that. It is just that tool that if you master with the right discipline and everything that you need, will definitely make you a better person. We only had about 10 minutes, so we will end it at that. I am open to sharing my contact, and we can always talk more and more. But yes, there are opportunities, but it all starts at that mobile phone that you have, whichever it is. How much can you do with it, and how much financial work or economic work can you do with it? There are people who are managing social media accounts of different entities, and they are making a living out of it. The better they become, you know, the more marketable they are, the more, you know, the more a career it can be. And even if you choose, I'm not saying, you know, abandon your being an engineer, a doctor, a nurse, or lawyer, or whatever it is. The better you use your social media platforms as a lawyer, as a doctor, or whatever career you pick up, the more marketable and valuable you will be. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that was Drakeford Mugumisa, who is the head of corporate affairs at Next Media. Next Media has NBS, Salam, Sanyuka, and other entities. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of Salam Symposium, which was powered by Islamic University in Uganda, Salam TV, IMSAC, Sacred Paths, and SAMS. Let me pray the closing prayer. Let me do it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal asr, al insana la fil khusr, ila alladhina amanu wa amilus salihat, wa tawasaw bil haqq, wa tawasaw bis sabr. We're going for prayers, and you're going to be live. My name is Balige Afan Wachnyankari. I'm out of here. Thank you.